And what role have marketing and endorsements played in the expansion of your business?
Yeah, so marketing plays a huge role. I think it's something that I'm so into myself because as an entrepreneur, like when you're starting out your business, you do everything. You do the Facebook, you do the Instagram, you do the flyers. It's all you. You open up the shop and you just do everything. But we've invested so much in marketing because we see that. Just to give an idea, is that Legends has become popular on social media. It's the most popular business in South Africa on social media because of the type of efforts that we put into growing it on these social media platforms. So it definitely plays a much bigger role in how we expand our business because you're creating a demand, to say the least, for customers out there. And it's interesting that sales and marketing actually go hand in hand. And I was in China this past week, and the number one thing, because I visited different factories, and the number one thing that I'll find is that the number one department that they prioritize more than anything else, it's sales and marketing.
Makes sense.
And it's so big on sales and marketing, and it shows the impact that it has on your business.
And I think social media has sort of democratized the space because it's not as expensive as it could have been.
Yes, of course.
And you leverage things like influencers and so forth, so I can get the use of that. On the subject of finances, what are some pitfalls? Or in fact, let me do this.
Yes.
Let me do this. We are here for the book after all. Page 21. I went 4 months without a salary after we relaunched Legends Barbershop. My very first salary was a measly 3,000 rands. This was my way of ensuring that we had cash flow, even if it meant personal sacrifice. But those 4 months were tough. I faced theft, barbers leaving, and barbershops mushrooming right across from mine. You name it, I went through it. In the end, I was left with only one barber who stuck it out with me. So I was reading this and I was like,
yes.
I would have been like, you know what? No, I'm fine. But you stayed the course. But the question I want to ask is, what are some pitfalls or dangers that entrepreneurs should look out for, especially in the beginning stages?
There's so many. There's really so many. And if you think about exactly to the point of what I've been through, it's being able to be so resilient that no matter what happens, and no matter what anyone says, you believe this without a shadow of a doubt. And you have been called to do this. And no one else will be able to do this except you. And although you might face the most difficult of challenges, that you're still going to go through it, and people doubt you, people say bad things about you, people do what, but you still stay the course. And I think that is the number one thing that you could have, especially in the beginning stages.
And I noted somewhere in your chapter you mentioned how you avoided taking out loans for a while, I think, as well. And speaking of people laughing at you and so forth, I remember there's a part where he says he resigned and his boss asked him, so what are you going to do? And he says he's going to be cutting hair. And he says the person laughed at him. Yes. Who's laughing now? Okay, so yeah, I feel like we didn't really double down on the financial pitfalls.
Yes.
So I'd like you to just emphasize, what should entrepreneurs look out for financially, what to avoid?
Of course. So number one thing is that you have to be able to treat your business as a separate entity. Your business is not you. So when I say this is that in the beginning stage of your business, while your business is earning money, let it not go to your personal account. Let it not be in line with, so now you're thinking, you know what, I made 100,000 this month, so guess what? I'm spending this money.
I blew it.
It's not the case. So it's so important to separate it from the get-go and understanding that my personal funds is my personal funds and my business funds is my business funds. And you treat yourself like an employee that gets a yearly increase. And I know that's the hardest thing for you to do as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
but it's the most practical way to separate it and the most practical thing that you can do from the beginning when it comes to finance element. Obviously, there will become times when you need to be much more compliance, tax compliance, when you need to understand the integrate of laws and how SARS works and stuff. But I think from the beginning, from the baby steps phase, treat it separately.
Absolutely.
And you'll be able to see growth in between.